like to keep things as easy as possible.
Do you have your slides on your computer?
I will have my slides up in a minute, but there's a lot of facets to what we do. I will tell you that real estate is a place where if you hire a realtor, you definitely want one that has a lot of experience. So it is one of the fields where if you hire an old person, that's actually awesome. They know more than you will ever know, and they know all the ins and outs and what can go wrong. But one big thing that I do is help buyers and help you basically buy your next home if you have to sell your current home. That's a little bit of a tricky transaction. Takes a lot of basically project management to get it to work out the right way. So basically what you'll do is we will, you find your dream house that you have to have. But your only problem is you can't buy that house unless you sell your current house. You need the money out of your current house to buy your next dream house that you just must have. So all of a sudden, we've got to get your house on the market ASAP. And you're stressed out to the max. So we want to get the house, your current house, cleaned up to perfection. Make sure it's ready to go, because the prep work before you list a house is everything. That's probably the hardest part to listing your house, is getting it prepped and ready to go. Basically, if it needs staging, decluttering, cleaning, that's where you're going to get the most bang for your buck before you put it on the market. So first of all, it's hard to do without my slides. Slides are good. We're going to keep me kind of on the right path, but basically, you find your dream house, and the first hard part is getting it under contract with the contingency to sell your current home. In a hot market, that wouldn't work. You would never be able to do that. But in this market that we're in now, when we have a lot of inventory, it's basically a buyer's market, it is possible. So if you do have a house that you're thinking about selling because you want to get a better house, a bigger house, whatever, then we can make it happen. But what it is you have to go under contract with your new house with the contingency to sell your other house, and you're under time limits. So time is of the essence. So I kind of come in and help basically project manage this whole transaction. When I bought my personal house about 4 years ago, we had to close 4 houses in one day, because I had to sell my house to buy my current house, and then the people I was buying my house from had to close their house to buy their new house. So we had 4 closings, all pretty much right after the other, all in one day. So you have to have a good mortgage broker in order to help that happen, a good title agent to make that happen. But yeah, it's not fun. So, get it all lined up is very, very, very stressful. So that's where I come in. I mean, basically I have to be the everything in the transaction. I have to basically project manage the whole thing. So at the end of the day, I'm a realtor, but I have to be a project manager in order to make sure that everything flows and everybody's doing what they're supposed to be doing. I don't worry about it.
It's too late.
Okay, so in order to make all this happen, you've got to make sure everybody's doing what they're supposed to be doing. Because when the day comes that you need to sell your house, your old house, to the new buyers, they're waiting with their moving truck to move in. So you got to be ready for that one. And then you don't want to be homeless, so you got to be ready to also close on your new home with your new house. So again, I got to make sure everybody's doing what they're supposed to be doing, so all of this runs smoothly. Which everything in real estate, there's always something that happens. It's inevitable. It never runs smoothly. There's always some big problem. Underwriting at the last minute found something that they got to inspect, or something happens. But at the end of the day, we, wanna make sure that everything's ready to go and everybody gets their house and isn't homeless. So, this is my team.
Well done.
So I help growing families move on with confidence. Thank you, Maya Bella. Now how do you use this?
Arrows working?
Arrows.
Does the clicker work?
Arrows.
Where'd the clicker go? Oh, do you have the
My
clicker?
God, I didn't get back up there.
Yeah, it's not, I don't think it's gonna work with the clicker.
Okay. The movement dilemma, how do I sell the buy without being homeless in between? Common client concerns, timing, stress, finances, logistics. So basically, you know, like I said, we prep and price the house, your existing house accordingly. And if for whatever reason it doesn't work out where we're not able to get the contingency to buy the new house, to sell your old house, then we'll have to take a risk on, we're gonna sell your old house, but you can't put a contingency on your new contract for your new house. You just kinda have to risk it, but there's ways to kinda give yourself a bridge loan in between. So if they didn't give you the time to sell your old house to buy your new house, you go ahead and buy the new house. You get a bridge loan to kind of cover the closing costs and any down payments until you sell your other house. So that's one fix. If you don't have the money to fix up your current house because it needs some work in order to get top dollar, we have something that's called Compasd Concierge that'll loan you some money that they'll take out of your sales proceeds to pay for. So there's lots of ways that we could work it out to where you can get into your new home and unload your old home in the process. Basically, you know, I've already explained all of this. How can you help me? So listen out for, we've outgrown this place. Listen out for, we wanna move, but we don't know where to start. So you're like, have you talked to Sheila? And they'll be like, who the heck is Sheila?
Sheila who?
You just tell them that she's your realtor for life. Anyways, I don't know if any of that made sense because
Great, good job.